welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where you proceed to seek out all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why? Because you love seeing other franchises besides the ones that the great and powerful Trixie is in. You are probably wondering where the dingbat of a host is right about now. Well, he has been busy with Breath of the Wild. Oh, no. He hasn't owned it yet. He's just been busy watching over 5 freaking hours of reviews, content, and everybody talking about it and drilling. He's right over here. Ah! He hasn't moved. What's worse is that Disney put out a freaking trailer for the new DuckTales series, and that has sent his mind even further back into awesome mode. He's gonna be studying like this for hours. Ah! See? Ugh, what's Trixie going to do? Oh, Trixie has an idea. Oh, martial art user. Ah! Trixie was just wondering, what do you think of Deathstalker's works? Deathstalker? Yes. Or, say, certain other people who write lemons where they take these strong, powerful female characters and turn them into sex objects, rape them, and do other horrible, horrible things to them. Trixie thought as much. Why don't you go ruin a few of those for us, Sally? And Trixie will be busy elsewhere. Right, I'll get on that. Just let me get my riffing outfit. Well, he's gone. Don't tell Marshall for user, but Trixie just got a Nintendo Switch. And what's more, Trixie has Breath of the Wild. Trixie has Breath of the Wild. Now, excuse Trixie. She's gonna be playing this for the next few months.
Hey, guys? Did Trixie just say she had something? Probably not important. Probably some sort of really weird game that I've already played about 1,000 times. I wouldn't pay too much attention to her. So yes, there are plenty of good and bad fics. You just need to know where to look. That's the whole point of the show, after all, is to show you all the various varieties, and to show you that not all fanfics are lemons, and Mary Sue OCs, and Gary Sue OCs. Sometimes, of course, we're not successful in that. But remember Star Wars' law says that 90% of everything is crap? Well, yeah. The same could be said for comic books, video games, toys, and so many other stuff. The reason why you keep finding, you could say, oh, well, I only find, well, of course, but I found hundreds of good comics. Yeah, you found the comics that appealed to you. Never forget that there are also probably billions of comics that don't appeal to you. I mean, that's why Lara has an awesome show. So, how about this month we have a little fun and take away the wonderful plot armor that some of these writers gave their so well done fanfics and tear them a new one. Come on, it'll be fun. Should this month even have a name or a special? I don't know. First off, Tomb Raider Breaking and Entering by Deathstalker. Please join as we here at the Berry Memorial Library is proud to eviscerate the following stories. Enjoy. Oh, and don't worry. I promise I'll still do this show when I finally get Breath of the Wild. I mean, how addicting is that game? Meanwhile, in Trixie's apartment.
This game is so awesome.
Tomb Raider. Breaking and Entering by Deathstalker.
Oh, I love that franchise.
It's so, goofy and over the top and ridiculous. Uh, and just perfect for riffing fodder. Which one are we doing? Oh, it says Deathstalker, the screen name. Why do they always do this to me? Lara Croft drops from the top large stone onto the courtyard. The mysterious millionaire, Matthew Fennick.
Fennec?
Rumor had it that Fennick was in possession of several priceless artifacts he didn't wish to sell, regardless of the offered price. Laura had been hired by an anonymous third party to break into Fennick's mansion home and steal these artifacts. Guys, I don't know. Would Laura really be doing this? I mean, she usually likes to sneak into other places. I mean, this guy was evil, but it seems more moral to her than stealing from another collector. But the text he had been presented with was large enough to silence any ethical dilemmas wandering through her head, in spite of the fact that, she had billions of dollars and was about Scrooge McDuck rich. The check had cleared before she had gone seeking into the courtyard. She spotted a bodyguard standing at one of the side entrances and drew one of her pistols. If she could subdue the man without using it, great. If not, too bad for him. See you later, blasted his head off. She carefully made her way towards him when the attack dog leapt at her from the side. She didn't have the time to turn a pistol on it. The jaws clamped down on her wrists, and Laura cried out, dropping her gun. She tried to pull her hand away from the dog and reached for her gun's twin companion with her left hand, only to feel a similar grip of pain there. Her head spun to the side and found another dog biting down her left wrist. She looked up and saw that the bodyguard had spied her. Ugh. See? You shouldn't have been wearing that meat perfume. This is it, Laura thought. She's going to bloody jail. Again, if he was bad, I could see her doing it, but this is not a bad guy doing it, so why? Just for money? Vic, if you're going to try to make an excuse plot, at least make your excuse make a little sense. Instead of moving to apprehend the woman, the guard turned away and went inside the mansion. Laura figured he was going to call the cops. Not that would be a problem for her. What about her? The dogs were yanking her arms in separate directions. Mainly because they were trying to get to the doggy treat that was inside her pockets. Pulling the limbs taut and causing her to yelp in pain. She tried to pull her hands away from the beast, feeling hot blood trickling down her forearms. A mask crashed into her back. Oh, for crying out loud, she got stuck on the football field! Hair was knocked from her legs, and her wrists were pulled away for two dogs' jaws. She landed on the ground. Her hooters, woohoo, woohoo, pressed firmly to the soil. She groaned in pain. Suddenly from the weight and the four paws she felt on her back. The thing that crashed into her was a third dog. Release downs. Walked off her back, relieving the pressure. Before Laura could hope to get away, the first dog pushed her over onto the back of his snout. Laura tried to move her hands to fight out the dogs, but it was too painful to move them. Really? 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 Even the bites had broken any bones, as he suspected she might have. The trauma of the dog has his powerful jaws both had her throbbing with pain. She wore a skin-tight black leather outfit, so as not to be very visible. The dog flipped her over and was now sniffing her body. He started his face and moved it down her body, eventually arriving at her. This was the mistake with the dog. For Laura raised her legs up, grabbed the dog with her legs, and snapped it in twain. The other two dogs growled, and Laura just flipped onto her side, placing her hands onto the ground. She narrowed her eyes at the dog, like a predator staring down another predator. The two dogs shivered. They could feel it in their bones. They knew they were messing with the wrong girl. But still, she had wandered into the wrong area. She had wandered their territory, and they were going to fight her. With expert timing, one of the dogs let down, and in a split second, Laura brought out a dagger and threw it into the dog's throat, killing the other one. The last dog growled and snarled, foam beginning to drip from its mouth as it glared at her. He wanted to avenge his canine companions. He wanted to cruelly bite her neck off. There were so many things he wanted to do to her. Laura just stood there crouched, like a wild animal staring it down. For the longest time, no sound could be heard between the two of them, save for the soft breaths. Throughout the area, it seemed like two warriors were glaring each other down. The two began to circle each other, mimicking each other's movements as their eyes met on the battlefield. Then, the dog raced at her. Of a loud report of a gun, the dog fell down. Laura twirled her fallen pistol back into her holster and chuckled as she walked away. Looking at the three dogs, she shook her head, trying to figure out, why would three dogs be interested in my body? She thought to herself as she proceeded to walk away, only to meet up with the owner, Matthew Fennick, with a weird little name. Miss Croft, I presume to. So what does he look like? So sorry about the dogs. As soon as they are, they can't resist a young woman as yourself. Just like me. Don't worry, we'll get you clean and bandaged in no time. He turned out and walked back off. Laura just rolling her eyes at the pompous idiot. The other two men proceeded to help her out. The two men walked Laura into Laura's bedroom, sitting on her bed. She looked at the two men, trying to figure out when were they going to leave. But they just were looking at her in her skin-tight outfit. What do you say, Phil? The first man said in a second. We got some time before the bath's filled, don't you think? Phil nodded. It is a rather large sub. I think we got plenty of time. Laura knew what they were after and glared at him. Come near me, and I'll bloody kill you. Not very agreeable, is she? Tom said, looking at Phil. Phil shrugged and pulled out a dart gun, aiming at Laura and pulling the trigger. Now, the fix says the dart shot out and stabbed the woman right above her right hooter. But we know better, don't we? We know Laura's agile. We know Laura can move. So we know what really happened. Laura rolled out of the way, grabbed the dart in midair, flung it back at Phil, who proceeded to knock out. Laura then looked at the other guy and growled, "You want some of this?" No. Then run, and take your boyfriend with you, Laura said, her voice cold and commanding. She had about had enough of this guy's BS. First the sexual dogs and now these two? What is this man trying to do? Insult me? Must think he has a probably big wiener that he likes to use to dominate every single woman he's come across. Well, can't say no to a free meal, she said, looking down at the red dress that was laid out before her. Shrugging, she took off her sneak suit, put on the dress, and hid her weapons. Tonight was going to be a very fun night. Lara Croft walked down the stairs and saw Matthew Fennick sitting at a large table. She had to admit, while his table was nowhere near as big as hers, The food was quite well done, and there was fair, and the spread was quite nice. She had to smile. She did enjoy being pampered once in a while. Hungry, she decided to sit down and eat for a while. So, what do you want? She asked. Fennec continued to grin. The question is, what do you want? I know you were trying to break into my magic tonight. The question was, why? Well, according to the script, it's because you're too greedy and too selfish to sell your artifacts. Someone doesn't like that, so they hired me to steal them. Artifacts? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. Wait a second. Muscle on for you, so. Yeah? Wouldn't I done research into this? Why, yes, you would have. But you forget, you are working with grade A, triple A stupidity here. Oh, I get it. My character has been downgraded from being a smart, intelligent, classy young woman to being an idiot. Exactly. So, yeah, you're gonna be a retard for the sake of this plot. Well, in that case, this has all been a big one. No, I earned my money through oil fields, and I never had a taste for priceless artifacts. Then how didn't I know this? What? Did I just not do the research? Did I just not look into the person I was hired into? I just said, "Die, I'm going to take the money and run." But how does that even work? That makes about as much sense as Thomas does going running off to killing somebody without taking research. Well, sorry to bother you. I'll be going. She started to stand, but Fennec put a hand on her shoulder and kept her in her seat. Not just yet. I'll get you out dinner with me. I have a proposition to discuss with you. Fine, Laura said, a little bit annoyed that she had been put here, she's been eating, and she's just been going on a wild goose chase. He sat in her seat, and he proceeded to give her the food. Please feel free to eat up, he said. As he started to eat, Fennec gave from his plate as well. The servant poured for each glass red wine. But red wine? No! With a stick like this, you use a nice Cabernet. Laura shook her head, unbelieving at this guy's distaste in wines and, quite frankly, vulgar table manners. You're wondering why I'm not furious at you for trying to break in. Laura shook her head. No, I'm more curious as to why you're taking so long to get to your bloody point. Well, after what my dogs tried to do to you. What were they trying to do? Laura asked, looking incredulously. The man looked back and forth nervously. Trying to rape you? Really? Did you put the hormones into overdrive? Did you do something to the nostrils to make me think I was in heat or something? Fennec shrugged. A little, maybe. Why would 3 dogs try to rape me? It doesn't make sense. Unless... Did you put peanut butter down there? No. How do you even train dogs to rape me? Practice. I swear you're becoming dumber and dumber by the minute. Well, there is another reason why I want you here. What? Laura said, rubbing her forehead. It's quite simple, Miss Croft, he said, explaining, his nervousness obvious on his face. You can stay here and help me conceive a child. What? Laura said, her eyes widening wide, her face then frowning into a scowl. Or go to jail for a very long time. Her jaw dropped as she proceeded to growl. You want me to do what? I need a son, Miss Croft, Fennec went on. Seeing the glare in Laura's eyes had caused him to back up, fear starting to make his body tremble as he started to realize maybe this was a bad idea. I need one soon. I didn't have time to find a girl who feels like having my children, so you either help me accomplish this, or I'll call the police and pizza, and that will be that. Laura proceeded to growl. You really couldn't find a girl, so you brought me in here to bang me just for a child? You're not even certain. You have a 50-50% chance of getting a son, you know that? Laura growled, getting up from her seat. Well, you could be in jail. I mean, I'm richer than you. It's hard to use that money when you're a dead man, Laura said calmly as he brought out her revolver. Fennec at this point, his face paled in utter horror. What? What? But some of the food and the drinks, he said, pointing to the food and drink around him. Used to be the lace of an aphrodisiac and be wanting them dick, he said, shaking his head. Laura looked at the drink. I told you before, she said, pointing the gun and shooting the wine glass. I refuse to drink the wine. Seriously, red wine? With that steak? I don't think so. But at least the food... not really my style. At this point, he started backing away. He looked around, his eyes darting back and forth. As Laura aimed a gun. Her eyes narrowed. Now, I think I've got a lot more on you than you have on me. Trying to extort me? Trying to get dogs to rape me? That sounds like cruelty, and I'm pretty positive your men were going to try and rape me as well. Or frowned. So, you could either give yourself up to jail, give all your money to charity, or pull the hammer back on her gun, or you die here and now. Your choice. Fennec growled before charging her. No, you will bear me a son. You will. Spinning her gun, Laura walked away from the corpse, sighing and shaking her head. Why does everybody think that just because I have massive hooters means that I'm a bimbo? She said, picking up her leather suit and walking away. The end. Okay, let's ignore some of the basic plot points for a bit and point out one of the central problems I have with this story. The erotic and sex scenes just aren't that good. There's no real emotion here. This is just the guy touching the woman all over the place and labeling different body parts. It just feels like it's just describing to me an anatomy lesson of how a guy is perceiving how a man and a woman make love. And furthermore, the descriptions aren't really that delectable and aren't really that arousing. I guess it also comes from the fact that this plot really makes no sense. Why didn't Laura, investigate the guy? Why didn't Laura, ask questions? How was Laura so easily subdued by a couple of jerks when we've seen her, get a rebarb stuck through her stomach? Hell, even before Tomb Raider, the remastered Tomb Raiders, we know that she's taking it on worse. Yet this fake says that just because a couple of dogs bite her on the arms, they could slow her down. It feels like all of this was just an excuse plot just to get Laura to have sex with the author's OC. Which sadly means that this story becomes a self-insert, wish-fulfillment fantasy. This author tries to tell us that the reason why he does this to these girls is so that way they can be arousing, yada yada yada. But the problem is, if there's nothing really there, then it's not really that arousing. I have a couple of great cop fics in mind, and I do know of a couple of great lemons out there. The problem, the difference between those and this fic is that they have emotion, have some really good characters, have some really good descriptions, and most importantly, have a plot. This story does not. Well, that was one down, thousands more to go. I'll see you all next time. Meanwhile, back at Trixie's apartment.
Just 3 more hours. And Trixie will be done for today. Yes, Trixie will be done. Why did you make this game so addictive, Nintendo?